Right. You know, I'm just going to talk about obviously some of the shenanigans that are going on, and you need to bear with me just a couple of minutes. You know, just until the wee man's mummy comes and gets him. Um, so, you know, obviously, but I had to hang out. I made the video yesterday. Um, you know, and then you've got characters like Jed. Now, I'm just going to play a couple of wee bits in it because you know this is the stuff that we have to highlight. Hey wee man, hey wee man. Do you want to say hello? Who's this? Who's that? You saying hiya? You saying hiya? Who's that? Who's that? You saying? Say hiya, hiya, hiya. So, I mean, this is my whole purpose is for these wee guys. You know, at the end of the day, you know, this is why I do what I do. You know, my kids are the most important thing to me. I don't want them brainwashed. You know, I want them to have foundation and know exactly where they are. So I'm not in this to fuck about and get involved, you know, in wee personal disputes. Hey boy, hey yeah, mummy be a wee minute, mummy be a wee minute. Hey, hey, up, up, up. Where is she? Where is she? Hey, where is she? You went back on the camera. She went back on the camera. You say hiya. Do you want to say hiya? Hey. So, you know, I'm not here playing games to get into petty disputes with retards and illogical people. You know, I'm here to understand what's actually happening, to identify the games and the manipulation that's going on between us. You know, it's a very, very simple situation for me. You know, and as we'll hear here, you know, it's got to be clear cut. This is natural science. The whole question's about the objective reality. It's no imagination. You know, I don't, you know, want to quell anybody's imagination, but it's definitely no. But you know, science is no how you imagine things to be, and saying ridiculous things like, "Oh, you can't recreate the Earth in a lab." What you know, in a lab is no natural. Natural is the natural world. You know, if you're trying to emulate the natural world, you know, you hear these statements of models. You know, I can take every aspect of this world, air, dirt, rock, water, and I can put them all together, you know, and make a model work, you know, a basic model using the elements of the reality that we live in. So, you know, all these people have is a plastic toy and CGI. Oh, here, mummy coming. Yay! Yay! Alrighty. Thank you very much. Are you done?
It's me.
Sure.
Come on now.
I can
That's
keep them
fine.
for another
No,
minutes.
it's alright. It's
Sure.
fine. Okay, bye-bye.
I can get a smoke now.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye. So, you know, you hear these ridiculous things. So anyway, you know, and the whole point being about the cult mentality and the cult behaviour. Now, you know, it wasn't naivety about putting the thing in the chat. It's just to show that I'm open to anybody, and actually hoping that these types of cult minds would show up and display that behaviour. And the taking over the hangout at the end was the cherry on top. You know, so they're so far behind in what's actually happening. You know, I'm even getting people who are messaging me on Facebook who I know in my social circles to let me know about, you know, people like Jed, and that people on the outside are watching it and can actually see what's happening from afar. It's just that Jed he even says it. You know, he talks about how he's so involved and he can't get away from it because he's so entrenched in it that he's just lost himself. He doesn't have the ability to separate and understand what the question actually is. You know, it's a natural science question, you know, and the set of tools that we use in order to discover that, and what proofs are, and you know, what the difference between evidence and proof actually is. So my whole journey and my whole point is about being highlighting this. You know, and any of these things that I do, like creating a hangout, you know, it's to bring it in, show the material and highlight, you know, what's actually going on. But today I'm just going to, you know, talk about that and highlight a couple of things that Jed said. You know, and then it's funny to notice that, You know, my video yesterday was like 25 minutes long, and I mentioned these people. You know, and you listen to them. You know, listen to Jed. You know, I get somebody messages me and says you need to listen to Jed and the tribe that he's going on about. And you hear him saying about how you mention his name all the time and you're obsessed with him and stuff. But hang on now, you know, I've just sat and watched a almost 2.5 hour video that's dedicated solely to my situation. So, you know, the contradictions and the things that these people say, you know, everything's becoming very apparent. And the more that they keep trying to push and they keep trying and trying, you know, it just becomes even more transparent. They're so fucking blatantly obvious. So, you know, and again, you know, people who will try and think that this is a bitch fest, but you know, we can't keep running away and go, they're in their group and we're in our wee group. You know, that's not who I am. I'm no part of anybody's wee group or wee clique. You know, I just want to keep pushing and understanding the situation that's actually happening and trying to work through it. So, you know, this is just kind of fun. I'm just going to skip through a couple of bits, a Jed's thing, just so that we can hear the ridiculousness. Of these types of people and why Jed is even involved in the first place. And he keeps going on about a spherical earth. You know, Jed, it's not a spherical earth. It's impossible, son. Right? It's covered in fucking water. Right? You want to use imagination and contrived conditions. You know, that's no natural science. You fail to grasp and understand what it actually means. Same as your Timmy crew. You know, and what I hoped, as I say, I got for them. You know, they came, they displayed it, and they took over the hangout. Jerry and Top, brilliant, fucking job done. Anyway, you know, I'm not going to put anybody through the suffering of this for too long, but it's funny. At least he's got decent music, taste in music, a bit of news there at the beginning.
Welcome back to another hangout with Jed. I just thought I'd address a few things that's happened this week. Globebusters, they just keep rambling on, they just keep bringing up new stuff. No word of this balloon launch, but I'm not going to talk about them too much. Waste of time.
The thing about these balloon launches and stuff is, you know, this is, you know, it's about understanding the reality you're in. Balloon launches, fine. If people want to get involved in balloon launches, that's fine, you know. But what I'm saying and what I tried to, you know, highlight the other night in the hangout was when they were talking about laser tests and, you know, theodolites and all this stuff. And you know, you ask them and they start to stutter and you say, well, what's more accurate than a laser for finding a level to see if anything's level? Fill it with fucking water. But you know, obviously they want to ignore it. So. Oops.
Finally, guys. The highlight of Globebusters hangout was the end. That was a highlight. The end.
Right, come on, get on with it.
We have Antonio Subirats.
I just need to let the first 5 minutes play here because you know there's a wee bit at the beginning and I never noted down the time stamp on it, but I have for the rest of them, so it's just this one.
Nice try, but it's not accurate. He says it's not a projection, but all maps are projections. All maps are 2D representations, abstract. All maps. Not just flat earth maps, all maps.
Because you don't ever pull a globe out to navigate. It's a flat map.
So he's trying to convince us that it's not a projection model. I just says to him it's a azimuthal.
We'll get to the goodies in a minute. You just need to bear with me here with
this.
It's
just an azimuthal, and all he's done is moved Australia a wee bit. So Globebusters was rambling. Antonio had a new map, and there was something else. Oh, aye. I had a tirade of abuse from another YouTuber, another flat earther. I posted a 5-minute clip of the end. The TV just went on there for no reason. It's fucking weird. Anyway, I posted the end of a hangout. It was 5 minutes, and it was
Hurry up.
Beyond the Curves hangout, and it was getting naughty in the hangout. They were kicking out people. They were muting people.
So see here right away, this is Jed. And this is where the whole problem stemmed with Jed. And he talks about not having a problem with people. But yet everybody knows that he's making videos about tattoos and trying to suggest that you're part of some group or, some satanic order or whatever the fuck it was he was saying. So Jed's communication, was breaking down right away. Because Jed just went into attack mode. Because that's Jed's MO. It's just to mindlessly attack people without any proof. And that's the problem with these people. They don't understand proof, empirical proof. And as we're going to hear shortly, I'm letting this play for the first couple of minutes. And sorry, you just need to bear with it. As I say, I never noted the timestamp for this, whatever point it was.
And it was inevitable what was going to happen in that hangout. It was inevitable. I've been watching Dale, but I've stopped commenting. I've stopped exchanging comments with Dale because he's unreasonable. He's stubborn. He won't visualize, because this was one of the things that he tries to say that, oh, it's a cult, and we have to use our imagination. Sometimes you do have to fucking use your imagination, because something.
You can use your imagination in art. People, come on. Science, real science, imagination. Imagination can lead you to maybe come up with, a new invention, through your exploration and playing with the reality that you're involved in. But this is the thing that they miss. I don't have to imagine the world. The world is just there. There is an objective reality happening. So there's a difference between invention and using an imagination for art and observing and testing the actual reality that you live in, the natural world. We don't just go out and go, oh, well, let's imagine that the earth's a square. I mean, it feels as if these people are deliberately digging their hole,
Things just can't be seen.
Well, if things can't be seen, measured, tested, and repeated, that is a religion, Jed, me old son. Aye.
Like the curve.
Aye.
Eh,
You can't see the curve, so it's not there. There is no measurable curvature anywhere. But I suppose guys like this and the rest of the the cult members, desperately need your imagination in order for this to hold any water.
great innovators, great artists had to visualize.
Exactly.
Great inventors had to visualize before they planned.
Did they have to visualise the earth in order for it to be there?
Your imagination isn't a culty quality you have.
This is where the delusions come. Because if you go to like a religious organisation, they'll quite openly say, yeah, you need faith and imagination and belief. Natural science requires none of that. So when he talks about like the globe, it's not a cult. It is a religious cult because there's zero proof for it. The guys sitting here saying it, you need imagination. And it was the same with the guys that came on the Hangout, which is public now, by the way. I need you to imagine, come on. So this is the whole point. People like this, they just fail to grasp the very, very basics.
Use your imagination. Imagination is good.
Yeah, imagination is good
so-
for that.
Anyway, I thought the people that came on Dell's hangout, they were treated unfairly. They were being polite enough.
Well, this is the thing now. Jed's going to get shown up again because the Hangout is there for everybody to see. The discussion right up until these Gem Panda and these characters came in was civil. You know, it's not people in a jerk circle just nodding their head and agreeing with each other. People, you know, we are open to challenge. We, you know, just as John Smith was saying, you know, we're here, we're open to being shown proof, you know, but when you get the same regurgitated stuff that, you know, all of us have analysed over and over and over and found zero proof at any globe, you know, it just shows that, you know, there's this religious cult activity, you know, going on amongst us. And, you know, they try and rationalise and justify it. You know, well, they say it, you know, these people have been here for all this time. You know, they've been here for all this time with zero proof and continue to be pains in the arse, right? That's fanatical behaviour, right? If it's something that they think's ridiculous and that they don't believe in or whatever, you know, but yet they constantly keep themselves involved in it, that's seriously fanatical behaviour and insecurity, you know, and they types of traits for me are very suspicious.
But it was what I expected. Dell thinks it's some big operation.
Well, you know, this is the thing that they miss. Of course Dell expected it, that's why Dell done it. That's why Dell put it out there actively. You know, and the conversations that we had in private, you know, and what we hoped we would get, we got every single bit of it. You know, and as I say, taking over the Hangout was something I could never have seen, because I'm naive when it comes to this computer technology. It's not something that, you know, it's been my interest at all. I spent a lot of my time just learning the guitar and focusing on practical things. I wasn't really interested in PCs until, you know, a few years ago. So, you know, for me that was just a cherry on top, because, you know, somebody's losing the plot and they have to take over it. Say it speaks volumes.
Dell thinks it's this Masonic connection and all this strange, these privies, these internet
Well, they are privy. They're privy to access. They know how to access and do it. And the fact that they use it and employ it tells you a hell of a lot about them. You know. What else are these geeky fucking weirdos up to? You know, what else can they access? But Jed promotes that kind of stuff.
privies.
Let's
It's not.
see.
I've watched these debates, these hangouts, and they snipe each other all the time. That's what it's called, sniping. When you see them.
Well, for me, that's an issue. You know, I think that's an issue that should be addressed, because how can, you know, if I'm setting a hang up out and it's mine, and it's, you know, it's my channel, somebody else is able to access that, you know, I think YouTube should be questioned on why they allow that kind of access to happen, why the function is even there in the first place. That seems like deliberate to me. But anyway, so I'm not going to waste too much time here at the beginning of this. I'll just skip through quickly some of the points that I've got, just to highlight exactly what I was saying at the beginning, and this let's employ imagination nonsense, and misrepresenting your claims and misrepresenting people. You know, these characters are employing every logical fallacy under, you know, in the book. So where have I go? We'll go to 1 hour 54. You know, I'm skipping from 8 minutes to 1 hour 54 because it's waffle about me. You know, and as I say, you know, 2 hours and 18 minutes dedicated to me, and he's talking about me mentioning him a few times in a 25-minute video. You know. Anyway, you try and help the stupid sometimes, but some people are just stupid to the core, and they're never going to escape their stupidity. You know, and I'm not trying to battle Jed with stupidity, because he'd probably beat me with stupidity. He's better at it. You know, I'm just using everything and every action that they put out there. You know, I'm going to scrutinise it, you know, especially when it's bollocks like this. So 1 minute 54. I think this was the best thing I actually heard him saying in the hangout.
Brunson.
That was the best bit of the 2 hours and 18 minutes from Jed you heard there. 2 hours and 4 minutes. On the mouse, and then, you know, if someone keeps muting you, you're going to sound like statements like, well, I think if I give you this situation, I need you to imagine this, imagine it. Look, you know, I'm not one to be part of your fucking creepy cult where I have to imagine, you know.
high against imagination, and he's got imaginary in his name. He's got this thing against imagination. When somebody says to him, "You can't replicate the Earth's mass in a lab. You can't replicate all the atmospheric."
So here we go. The Earth's mass in the lab. This is this whole excuse. I need a planet. You know, and as I've pointed out, you know, if it's reality, you should be able to model it. You should be able to show every element. As I say, I can go outside, you know, and I can make a representation, you know, of the larger Earth or the possibilities of it. I could go and dig a hole in the garden, put water in it, put rock, dirt, you know, I have the air. I'm actually in the reality that I'm, you know, experiencing. I don't have to, you know, go to outer space and find a planet or make some contrived condition in the lab. It's about the observable reality, how things actually behave in nature without you interfering with them, without you, you know, setting up these conditions. You know, reality's reality. You know, the facts of what are undeniable. It's only religious fanatics like these people who try and deny it. So, you know, when it's the same if I go to any religious institution or, you know, any of these things and I ask them for proof of their claims, you know, I get the same excuses. It's beyond our scope of understanding and vision. It's beyond, you know, it's in another dimension. It's somewhere. Well, it's no fucking science then, right? It's not natural science.
Pressures and systems and water, the vapor.
It's all here, Jed. The water, the vapor, the pressure. It's all here. You know, you can go out and observe it. I can create. You know, I could go out and create it in a tub, a basin, a swimming pool, and I could have my continents all there with a nice level water. Make waves. I have the air. We have the pressure, and we can observe it. Unfortunately for the globe, that's not achievable. You know, that's because it's a religion.
Up there, you can't replicate that identically in a lab.
So if you can't replicate it, you can't test it, you can't observe it, it's not science. It's religion. End of story. Gerard.
You can't. So you have to start using your imagination. It's not bad to use your imagination.
So if, you know, if you know, science was to become imagination, then I would like people to imagine Alpha Centauri, you know, that's populated by unicorns, you know, and there's some special people there who can fly and have X-ray vision. You know, imagine with me, people, imagine. Now, as long as you can imagine that, it must be reality. Right? No, I don't need to give you proof. I don't have to give you proof. If you can imagine, it's reality. Right? And, you know, it is real, but unfortunately, you know, Earth gets in the road. Earth's gravitational pull is... sound familiar?
Imagination is a good thing.
Imagination is a wonderful thing for creative art, you know, and progress maybe in technology, you know. But you still need to work with the observable, testable reality in front of you. You can't just imagine something and get a grant to produce it. You have to be able to accurately represent it and show that it actually works. A working model comprised of the actual components, you know, to demonstrate it. So when you ask a globe disciple, can you give me a working model of your globe and demonstrate, you know, oceans on globes and this gravity claim and positive and negative pressure systems, you know, coexisting without a solid barrier, you know, defying everything that we test and observe in reality, you get nothing. So as long as we're very clear, it's a religious belief. And, you know, Jed can have his religious belief, but he has to acknowledge and understand that that's exactly what it is.
Is this what this is all about? Like to turn us into robots, to have only logical, only like if like These
No, Jed, it's this subject that you keep skirting over. The subject and the question that I'm involved in is what shape is the earth that we are upon, right? Your imagination, your fanciful mathematical equations, your, institutional fucking images do not count as verifiable or falsifiable proofs of any fucking kind. Okay?
people that talk about flat Earth, I've realised they
Right, 6206, hang on. We've not got far to go. A member of your cult, fuck off, Natural science is observable, testable, repeatable. They know that, and they try everything.
Aye, and you know that you can't test, repeat the fucking Earth's mass in a fucking lab. So you know you're never going to lose that argument.
Yes, you have already lost any argument, Jed. If it's not testable, observable, and repeatable, it is not science, it is a faith-based religion. Okay? Okay.
So when you try and talk about water conforming to the outside of a ball, it's hard to replicate that.
Well, if it's hard to replicate and you can't show it in any fucking scale whatsoever, it's no reality. I mean, this is how it's like they're demented and they're just constantly banging their head off a wall, coming up with the same shite all the time. I need you to imagine, and that's not how water behaves. It's like a fucking, I don't know what's up with them.
It's hard. Like the top scientists, no one can do it.
Because it's no reality, right? Just the same as none of the religions can prove their religion, right? And it's called a religion. So understand that globe belief is a culty religion, right? People believe it. They don't know why they believe it, probably because of images, yet there is absolutely zero proof for it. The testable, observable reality that we experience and that many, many other people are starting to discover now is that, globes just don't hold water, Jed, my old son. Unfortunately for you and your Timmy crew and all that, they fucked himself up. People really are going to understand what real science is, and that's what I'm here to do, and that's what I'm pushing constantly. And understanding the language and understanding how religious cults like the Globe try and sway things with manipulative tactics, change the goalposts, try and change definitions, and think that they can just accost real science and use it whatever way they see fit, and then start telling people you need to imagine. That is cult behaviour.
All we can do is give you all the measurements and show you, like, it's no pictures for space. I don't believe in the pictures in space, but I do believe the Earth must be spherical.
He does believe that the Earth must be spherical, yet there is zero proof. So Jed here is actually, he's demonstrating to everybody, and expressing clearly that he has a faith-based religion, right? Because he has zero proof. He's just saying it must be, it must be, it must be. And unfortunately for Jed in natural science, his opinion means fuck all, right? That's what's actually provable.
I think Dale is way off. Way off.
Dale's way off because, he's trying to keep it objective and use the actual tools and language in order for us to discover the reality. And again, you're seeing, the agenda here that they don't want people in that state of mind.
Fear, guys.
So, to avoid 209, we're nearly there. Oh. Just ended here, but they used that wee section to try and get their sway in. It was pathetic, absolutely pathetic, and everybody who was there could see through it.
All I'm saying, Dale, is you're lucky. That's all we've done. It could have been a lot worse.
Oh, I'm lucky. I'm so lucky. It could have been a lot worse. So what's he going to do? Interfere with my cyber existence? Ooh, scary shit, man. Oh dear.
Just got a wee graze at that. But it was just a wee warning. It was just a wee...
Well,
We
warning.
warning that you can't invite people on.
I can invite whoever I want on. That was the whole point, you know, because only idiots, only abusers, and people with that type of personality would demonstrate themselves in that way, which they did. So I gave them the platform, I opened the door and left it open, and they came in.
Muting them and expect them not to do anything.
They were muted because they were continually talking over the top of people, okay, and trying to control, you know, the conversation and sway the conversation. And as I say, it's public now; everybody can view it. So you're fucked.
You think you've got all the power. You think you've got the little controls and all that.
You know,
Well, I'm sorry to tell you, Del, that
I'm not invested in having control of any of this. You know, it's not my subject. You know, I don't doubt that people can take control and hack, and they have knowledge and stuff like that. You know, it's not my game. That's up to them. You know, but again, you know, it's like it's poor sport. You know, it's not an equal match on people's knowledge of the actual subject, with being PCs. So for them to think that, you know, that they've gained some sort of score or point, they're just weak, pathetic fucks. And so are you.
these guys
And
have
you
been
know
hang out in hangouts for months and months and months. They've worked these things out. And you're just starting
See, months and months and months and months, and they've worked these things out. So they've been there actively trying to, you know, he's actually telling you here. So, you know, guys like this, they just keep digging themselves deeper and deeper and deeper. You know, because they can't let up, because their pride's getting, you know, getting the better of them, when really they should just learn when they're defeated.
So he thinks that after it's been uploaded on YouTube, that he has to sit and scan that 4.5 hours in case one of us.
Well, again, you know, my lack of knowledge on how this works, I'm not prepared to take that risk. You know, it was alarming to me that somebody can actually take control. So how do I know? I have to check that. That's just me being responsible and admitting when I don't know something, which is fine. It's been my whole stance. You know, people need to admit when they don't know anything, and then they can progress. You know, but morons like Jed that think they know and think they're grasping at something. You know, this is mental illness I'm watching right here. Serious mental illness.
Or whoever he's talking about is put porn or something depraved, or. But this is how much Dale knows. He gives too much credit, and he's too paranoid, too suspicious.
I'm too paranoid and suspicious. They did actually come in and take over the hangout. That's no paranoia. That's actual proof that they did take over the hangout, and they don't deny it, and you don't deny it. So where's the paranoia?
You should get along with us. You should imagine more. Dale, come over to the dark side. Come over to Edinburgh, where the Masons hang about. It's a shame. I tried to be civil with the guy. I did. We exchanged a few, but then he started to get.
You know, this guy was never trying to be civil. This guy just tried to put hit pieces out, and slander and misrepresent you and paint you in a certain light. And his evidence is there on his YouTube. You know, so he forgets very quickly. But this is what liars do. They tell that many fucking lies. They play that many games that they just keep tripping themselves up. So it's funny.
Aggressive, and I'm not going to argue with people that get aggressive, because aggressive means they're getting angry.
Passion's no aggression. And every single, you know, interaction I've had with people live or in a video or, you know, in real life, it's not an aggressive confrontation. You know, the issues only start happening when the Globe Cult members appear on the live hangout. And that's when it starts going to shit. So, where are we here? Well, I'm just going to jump to the last wee bit. It's just 2:14. What is this? I can't mind what he says here. We'll just play it by ear.
Other guy, he's an Irish guy that usually sits in the. What was his name? There's an Irish guy that does a similar thing. He just rambles and rambles and rambles, and it's just all this shit you've heard all before, repeated.
What, like the Globe stuff? Like what the Globe disciples do? They come and they repeat and ramble the same shite? Just like you do. oh, there's figures that show you it's a globe. I know the images for space aren't real, but you know, I want it to be a globe. It must be a globe. What? No, Jed, you should remove yourself from this whole thing for a wee while because you're starting to look serious ridiculous, son. You know, I'm actually concerned about your mental health here. You know, the contradictions and the expressions in your face, you know, again, it's 2 hours and 18 minutes here, just about me. I mean, come on to fuck, son. You know, have I hit a nerve with you somewhere? Something bothering you? I think you should come over to my side and start playing the game, wee man. Right? You don't have to imagine over here. Right? It's all good. Standing in truth is fucking brilliant, and you can be a superb troll, a troll that's always happy, a troll that's always, you know, having fun, because when you're trolling with truth, it's fucking great, right? It's always going to win.
They've never actually got an answer for the answer that comes back from them. They just ken that one thing they learned on YouTube.
Like what, like the one things that people learned in school? Eh? You know, this is again this thing about YouTube, and I've heard it so many times. You know, it's on YouTube. It can't be real. I can give a guitar lesson. I can show somebody how to remove a part from an engine, or how an engine works, or how to change strings on their guitar, or you know, whatever it may be. So by these clowns' method of thinking, it should be invalid because it's on YouTube. What? That's it again, you know, they don't ever deal with actual content and claims and burden of proof and, you know, presenting proofs. It's imagination and manipulative tactics and trying to sway people. Religious behaviour. The same as other religious institutions and control mechanisms, the same tools that they've always used, right? And now they're being found out because they can't use science anymore because they don't have any real science, right? They only have manipulative stories and anecdotes. So, as I say, this is, you know, it's just for analysing purposes. It's no tit for tat. People will look at it as tit for tat, but you know, if you're really analysing and looking at what's going on, you know, there's an understanding that can happen here. You know, between all parties and people who are viewing it from the outside. As I say, I'm hearing from people on the outside who are not taking part, but know they know the score, and they're viewing it and they can see clearly what's happening. So as I say, you know, concerns for guys like Jed, you know, I think he needs to take a wee look at what is actually happening in the real world, you know, and what's actually happening with real people, right? And get your head out of imagination land and fantasy. Right? I don't know if he's got aspirations to be a, you know, some sort of media outlet or a TV personality or whatever the fuck it is. That's fine. You know, that's up to him. But if you want to get involved with the big boys and talk about science and logic and stuff, you're going to get spanked and shown up every single time. So you should learn the tools. You should learn the actual language and what the subject matter is actually about and see if you can contribute to it. But, you know, if your job is just to be a bitch and run around being a wee girl, then by all means, you know, but the big boys are just going to point at you and highlight you and laugh at you every single fucking time you do it, right? It's pathetic. It's gone beyond pathetic. I'm actually concerned about your mental health now, right? And how that might be affecting the rest of your family and stuff. You need to get a grip of yourself, wee man. It's not a fucking game, right? There's lies being told to us. Right? I care about my family. I care about people in general. Right? And I want to get to the bottom of it. As I say, I'm not invested in anything. I don't claim any model to be true. You know, I stand in the most true ground that I can stand on and admit that, you know, I don't know where I am, but I know the possibilities. Okay? And that's the truth. You don't think it's important for your family or you to have any grounding or any knowledge about where you truly are. That's fine. You know, you're obviously just here trolling for whatever it ends, you know, whatever you're trying to gain from it. You know, and I can respect that. You're free to do what you like. Okay? But you keep putting your hand in the fire, it's going to keep getting burned. but you're too stupid. You know, you don't learn when you get your fingers burned. You keep putting your hand back in. So your choices there, your chances there. I'm probably going to do another live hangout, maybe at the weekend. You're welcome to come on and discuss any issues that you have, you know, rather than hiding in the chat. You're not going to get any aggression from me. It's a screen. What are you scared of? Are you that emotionally insecure that you can't hold yourself on a screen? I can't get to you on the screen, Jed. It's just sound, and I can see you. It's nothing to be scared of. You know, people fear and they're intimidated and they walk in eggshells because they know they're going to get pulled up for any bollocks, any shite claims. And that's why you're scared to come on and show your wee face. The invitation's there, my man. Alright? Hope you show up. So, fuck's sake, 40 minutes. You know, again, it's interesting. This is like the analysing the dynamics and the psychology and how people are trying to play these games. You know, and I can partake in these games and bring them and highlight them because, you know, I've always been me from the very start. And I've always said it, you know, it's clear. And if people, you know, doubt that, go back and look. And I've never changed. You know, the subject matter is very simple. It's what shapes the earth. It's natural science. It's objectivity. You know, and there's very strict tools that we use for that. So that's what I'm interested in. You know, and at the same time, you know, as trying to put that to people, I want to highlight these aspects of manipulation and different types of personality that are coming in and being involved. You know, it's not a bitch fest, you know, it's not just me sitting here going, he's a fucking this and I just don't like him. I don't dislike or like, you know, any of these people. You know, it's about just looking at the objective and what's actually there, you know, and trying to come to an understanding of it. By no means am I perfect. By no means do I have all the answers to everything. That's not what I'm claiming. But I have the ability to look at any claims or any of these things that are put in front of you and tear them apart. So, next live hangout, don't walk, you know, people walking on eggshells. The reason they'll feel like that is because, you know, they're worried that you're going to shatter some belief system or ask for actual proof of any claims. So that's not a bad thing. And I'm going to, you know, stick to that on my live things. You know, any claims that are made, you know, I'll be asking for proof. So, aye, I'll put a wee advert out probably, maybe. You know, well, I better not say anything in case there's a counter. I don't want to step on anybody's toes if they're having another live show. It's a ratings war. You know, it used to be the ice cream wars here years ago where people were getting shot because they were selling ice cream on somebody else's patch. It's going to turn into the live stream war. You know, people getting taken out because they put their hangout on at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock's my patch. So, anyway, people, peace.